Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, Season 2, Episode 9. It's called the Carnivorous Carnivore. Not Carnivore. Damn it! Damn it,
So
they got
close.
me! I thought I had it in my head. I was like, Carnivorous Carnival, it's so easy! And they... Damn it!
Oh, episode 9. Oh,
Carnivorous Carnivore. I mean, that makes sense. It's redundant, admittedly, but it makes sense.
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Ah, those bastards. Anyway, so the Baudelaires are in the car. They get taken, and there's a lot of like jokes where it's like, "Oh, maybe we should get that box of wine out the trunk to celebrate." Oh, I'm driving, but then I am parched. You know, you see the Baudelaires reacting, so on and so forth. But we've been saying how with each story, it seems like it's leaving the formula more and more, and it's doing something different more and more. Last year's story, we had Klaus dressing up. This time, we had all three of the kids dressing up. We had them pretending to be Siamese twins for the freak show at the carnival.
Yes. They didn't have gone quite so overboard, as it turns out.
Yeah, so, you know, as a thing. And, of course, as soon as we see the fortune teller, right? Did you immediately see who it was?
Do you know what? I'll be honest, I was quite tired when I started watching this.
Uh-huh.
And I went, I've seen her in something before. And it took me about 30 seconds. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, immediately I'm like, you know what, this is a better disguise than Olaf usually uses, but I can still tell it's you. I can still tell it's the librarian.
Yeah, it took me about 30 seconds. But it was the teeth, I think, that threw me.
Yeah, although perhaps I'm burying the lead here, because we actually start with a scene, quite notable, of VFD in their prime.
Yes, in the past, as
in the
it
past,
quite nicely says.
Yes, which even explains the past here meaning before the Baudelaire fire.
Yeah.
Not that I needed that defined, but it was amusing all the same. So we go to this party at their secret headquarters in the mountains, because of course it's in the mountains, and we see Monty from last season. We see various characters from last season that have died
All the Guardians, I think.
Yeah, and like so they're all there, and then we see we see Jacques and we see Lemmy Snicket. We see both of them.
Have a little chat.
Yeah, they're talking, and he's upset about Beatrice. But the whole thing is, Larry's passing this note around to everyone kind of in secret, and it gets back to Snicket, and when he eventually looks at it, it just says Olaf knows, and he runs out to try and save, presumably Beatrice, who's wearing a Firefly costume. Shall I make my reference?
No, Dragonfly.
This
This is you
Close
projecting.
enough. Close enough. Nathan Fillion was there, then there was a Firefly, the whole thing. It's a whole thing. Take my love, take my lads, you can take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, I'm still free. You will never take the sky from me.
Yeah, but they cancelled it anyway.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much. I got
The funny part
certain-
is I love it as well, but it's just funny because
So we get this, and that's kind of where it ends, and it's implied that Olaf's about to try and kill her. But of course, we have this new revelation that someone's alive, someone survived the fire. Potentially.
potentially, yeah.
Very, very potential. And of course, the reason why they're at the carnival is because they want this fortune teller to tell them what's happening. And of course, she actually proves that she's a fortune teller by just recounting everything that's happened in the show so far, because obviously VFD have told her all this. Oh, this has all happened, and you witnessed some of it, of course, at the school. And he's like, oh, it's you. I particularly enjoyed the moment where she went around to all of them saying, oh, you depend on your sister, you do this, and then she just looks at the henchman and he's like, there's a lot going on here. And then moves on. He's like, that's fair.
And he's like, yeah, that's fair enough.
That's fair. And of course, Olaf, being classy, has a box of wine, not a bottle of wine.
Nothing wrong with a box of wine.
If you're an alcoholic yourself, I'm sure you.
No. There is nothing wrong with a box of wine. It's never going to be as good, but it's cheaper.
Exactly, it's less prestigious.
It is.
I don't even drink,
Get
and I'm like looking down at this.
you get like a nice 3-litre box. That'll do you for a night or two.
Even things I do drink taste better out of glass bottles. So you know what? No. I'm get a bottle of wine, you cheapskates.
I usually do. I'm just saying, there's boxes. It's nothing wrong with it.
You have a drinking problem though, so I don't think we can take your word for this.
Do you know, I'll tell you the best thing about boxes. They're really good for if you're going away or something. You just want to throw them, a few of them. You don't want to worry about glass bottles. Just all right, I'll just throw a couple of boxes in.
I did not see you defending the box of wine as much as
Well, I'm
we've
just
gotten
saying.
to here seemingly.
Yeah, look, most of us have partaken in a box of wine at some point, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's no cheap cider in the park. Don't get me wrong. It's not quite that low, but yeah, most of us have done it. It's relatable.
I'll just sit over here being high and mighty then. Thank you
Look,
very much.
I'm just saying it's relatable.
Okay, so of course there's a nice little joke as well where he pours all the wine into his glass and then gives like one little dribble to Hookman.
Yeah.
And Hookman's trying to have his wine and he's not got any. But so all this is going on, and it is very much like they don't notice the Baudelaires, and they're like going around. They meet up with the other freaks. They come in for a job interview to join the freaks, for the freak show, and they laugh hysterically at them trying to eat corn in the cob with both hands not working properly and like the corn going everywhere. Yeah. It's a whole thing. So,
I appreciated Lemony's thing about job interviews at this point.
Oh yeah, they're awful. Yeah.
Yeah. His whole thing is like, yeah, you're gonna have to do stuff that you don't even see the point in doing, but you got to be over enthusiastic about it and pretend that you care. It's like, yep.
Yeah, I mean they don't really do that in this scene, but yeah, that stands for in general.
Yep.
Yeah, they still look kind of mortified and just kind of like deer in the headlights the whole time.
yeah. Well, I mean, but they really play up the corn on the cob. Like if they wanted to, they could just pick it up and eat it.
Oh sure, yeah, I'm sure they could figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, but they play it up for the effect.
Honestly, my favorite running little gag in this. Actually, no, my favorite running gag is probably Esme thinking the fortune teller's trying to steal Olaf because she keeps saying, "Oh, my Olaf." It's like my Olaf, not your Olaf, my Olaf. Like it's like her accent sounds fake. So does yours.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When they're going around she's going around doing the fortunes for all of the group, and she gets Esme's like, "You're not a real blonde." She
Can't
looks
be proven.
mortified.
Yeah, can't be proven.
Yeah.
So that's all good. But my all running gag that I liked in this one is that everyone keeps thinking Hookman's joining the freaks. He's like, I'm not a freak. I'm just a regular man with hooks.
Yeah. And then I think this is particularly funny because one of the freaks is just an ambidextrous man.
Which is not that weird at all. Of course, I'll have to tell you that, but it's not that weird.
Exactly.
But of course, the biggest laugh for me in this scene, though, is a meta laugh, because I laugh because, oh, Robbie Amel's in a Netflix thing. What a shock, what a surprise. He's popped up in like 4 of the original movies in the last year. It's like he's just got this friendship with Netflix now. They just keep giving him work.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way, doesn't it?
Because he was in ABQ, which was a decent little, or was it AQB?
ARQ.
ARQ, that was it. ARC, yeah, I meant ARC because it says ARC if you say it loud. That was a neat little, time loop movie. That was fun. I recommend checking it out. He was in The Babysitter, which is a really fun horror comedy. He was in that one recently with Dario when we first met, which wasn't as great, but it was okay.
Yeah.
But he keeps popping up in these Netflix original movies, so I just laughed when he popped up in this.
I just expect him in all of them now.
So that's the whole thing. I mean, all of the freaky things were kind of like, oh, he's got a hunchback. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, the contortionist one is like, I mean, it's not super weird, but it's what I expect.
Yeah, that's a more classical freak show-esque thing. Oh, that was the other joke that cracked me up. Actually, is we actually got the "One of Us" chant when they came out of the freak show booth, but before they went there, Olaf and crew all saying, "What? Not one of us?" Or no, it was Oh, it was the opposite. It was, it was the phrasing was the opposite, whatever it was, and it made me laugh. I actually almost think they ruined it a little bit by having the freaks say the actual chant when we saw them, because it made it really obvious. I thought it was actually really funny just having them chant the opposite.
I get you.
Which of course comes from the classic movie Freaks from I think 1932. I want to say, if my movie knowledge is up to snuff, which it may not be, but hey, so that's where that chant comes from. So you got that, and you have, of course, them sneaking in. The whole thing becomes about them trying to sneak in and getting to this basically see what this fortune teller's room's like, because they overhear everything she said to them earlier on. So it's like, okay, she knows all this somehow. We don't believe in fortune tellers, so let's go in and see what's in there. And sure enough, they get more film reels. They're watching it through the crystal ball. They see all these various things. They see Monty. And they actually find out what VFT finally and the actual group stands for, which I did not see coming, I have to admit.
No. But before we got to the actual one, there's another VFD in this scene for the fancy dress.
Oh yeah, very fancy dress. Was it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Something like
That
that.
sounds like it might be right, but then I'm like, I don't know.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was just the idea that okay, no, this is why they all do costumes, and it's like it's got the same costumes that Olaf's
Yeah,
been
because we
using.
see them like sort of like presenting all these costume possibilities in the one of the films. And this one guy puts on the sailor outfit, he puts on the detective outfit, he also puts on a couple of female orientated outfits.
Yeah,
And it's like I think, oh, these are all set outfits. He's not just picking random outfits, he's taking from a catalogue that he's got.
yeah. This is something they're like trained in.
Yeah. So yeah, they're volunteer fire department. They're a secret organisation that puts out fires. This is a really weird
Yeah,
concept. It's just kind of wacky enough, but it does nicely tie into the whole fact that Olaf was going around killing people with setting fires. Like
yeah. It's a really nice irony to it, isn't it?
so that kind of works, and really fascinating. Of course, eventually the librarian comes in and she's like, "Oh, it's the Baudelaires. It's me," and all happy. And we have that. Obviously, we also have the freak show itself with the. Them get out and doing the for three people. Like, what's the crowd like, Olaf? It's just a matinee.
Yeah, I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head for a week.
Oh, the one about just the one he was singing throughout
Yeah,
the freak show. Okay.
yeah.
I can't remember it, so I'm good.
Oh, it's still there now. I'm just going over it in my head. I'm like,
I'm
stop
good.
it.
No, I'm solid. I'm fine.
You're lucky. It's not even bad. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, but I hate having any song stuck in my head because it always gets annoying after a day or two.
The main theme gets stuck in my head a little bit. Run away, run
Yeah, yeah,
away. Let's get a catch. Obviously, any excuse to get Neil Patrick Harris singing and dancing is they basically jump at the chance.
yeah. But he is good at it, so I
Oh,
don't
he is
really
good at
mind.
it. And as far as I know, this was the character in the book as well. This is not something they've.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know if it specifically says he sings in the book. People can let us know if you've read the books.
He's very theatrical, though. So.
Yeah, so it's in line with his character that he's
Yeah.
into songs and whatnot when the occasion calls for it. So no, this was an enjoyable episode. I think very wisely, I think extending to this episode for this season, because obviously there was going to be one season with the one extra story, so extra 2 episodes. I think it was wise because this one definitely feels like it's going to make the season feel rounded again, kind of like season 1 did with the whole Quagmire appearance. Because we're finally getting to some answers, and it's like, oh, this is a big finale 2-parter thing that we're actually getting to see the Snickets and everyone else, like the Snickets talking to each other in their prime, and this was a functioning society and what they were doing, and also the fact that the Baudelaires are finding stuff out, and the librarian was set up in the first 2-parter, and then she's coming back here in the final 2-parter. Like it all feels like it's going to feel like a rounded season because they chose this one to end on.
It does. It does. And so obviously the librarian's interesting in the sense that okay, she's a volunteer now, right? Part of VFD, and it's interesting that she's stuck around as the fortune teller. And they mention that she's the new fortune teller. Like there was someone there before her, so presumably is she covering for them? They've gone off to do something. Whoever was there before her, like a mission.
It's funny because I just took that as a joke. Like they get rid of the previous one, like VFD, when they put her in place. But I don't know if that's.
I don't know because I'm just thinking when Jacques Snicket sent her here. There was already a
That's true. Yeah, you're
teller.
right. Yeah.
So that's something. He's like, okay, you go there, they'll teach you, and then they've gone off on a mission. It's like, right, you stay here and hold the plates down.
So presumably we've not met them yet, though.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it would be weird if it was Jacqueline, because we've seen her tons of times doing other things.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's someone that we've met. I think it's someone who's been out here for a while.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that that's someone who was already there because they've got all this stuff set up, all the costumes and the projector and everything else. It's funny though the way Olaf treats it though. He's like, oh, he sees the symbol. And he's like, oh, that's a sign we're on the wrong path. Which of course confuses his henchmen a little bit. But I'm like, clearly this was a thing that was set up after he left the organization. He's not expecting this, and his reaction going, oh, this seems legit because of that symbol is kind of weird to me almost.
I think it feels more like splinter groups at this point,
Okay.
like with the symbol. And but I'm thinking more it's like okay. He sees the symbol and he's like, right, that means that okay, if someone is alive and he found that tape, the film reel with the saying okay, someone's alive, someone in the organization would be the one to know, right? It would be someone in the organization that he's told, and that's where the information would spread through. So he sees the symbol and goes, right, they might know because they're in.
That said, he plays the rest of the episode just believing that she is a
No, that's
psychic.
true.
It kind of feels that way. And Esme is jealous, of course, and all the rest of it. I think my biggest praise of this, though, is I really like that this episode is full on the kids are tricking Olaf and all of his henchmen with a disguise. It's like, it's a complete role reversal to what the show has been up until this point. And that's a fun way. And again, it feels like oddly, has this element of finality to it. This should be a finale episode because it's this big shift in what the show is. So it feels like a nice turning point to end on. Before we come back for 4 stories in season 3. That said, though, we still have the second half of this story to wrap up.
We do.
That'll be the finale, so we'll be doing that very soon. So look out for that.
I'll be interested to see if they do any swerves. Last season we got the Quagmire parents as the swerve. I'm intrigued to see if we get anything in this last episode for this year.
Well, the twist was actually the second last episode last year. That was the ending of episode 7.
It was right, and then we spent some time with them in the final episode. Yeah,
before, of course, they met their demise themselves by the end.
Yeah.
No, it's an interesting question. I'm not sure what they could swerve us on, though.
No?
Like, I feel like it could have been the revelation that one of them survived, but we've already had that already, so... Is finding out, no, not really, that was a lie, or that was like mistaken information. That doesn't feel like enough of a swerve.
No, but maybe some sort of extension on that information.
Yeah. But one of the things the Baudelaires do ask in this episode, though, that I think is a very good question, is if one of their parents are alive, where have they been, or why do they not try to find them?
No, that's true. It could be one of the other, because obviously the Quagmires were in a fire as well, right?
That is true, except the reason why I'm assuming the Baudelaires is because everyone in the show seems to be assuming that, which could be a misdirection. But Olaf,
that's why I'm expecting this. So they're like, they're so focused on this that I'm expecting it to be one of them.
When Snicket in the footage said that, I didn't take it to mean the Baudelaires because I've been taking it as Olaf's killed a bunch of people in fires, and I took it to mean we don't know who it would be, but like everyone since then, Olaf, the kids, everyone has assumed that it's one of the Baudelaire parents.
No, that's true. That's fair, but I'm saying the only ones we know outright that he's killed with the fire are the Baudelaires and the Quagmires.
That said, though, that would be kind of the same twist again if it turns out to be a Quagmire parent.
It would.
Which I would criticise a little bit for being the exact same thing again.
That's fair. Yeah. But it'd be done in a different way this year, at least.
Well, yeah. If it even happens before we wrap up the season. Yeah. So, but there you go. So that is episode 9 of season 2. So one more left and we're done, which is nice. We can be wrapped up in time for Lost in Space, starting our next Netflix show.
Just finish one right into the next.
Right into the next. And I'm looking forward to it though, so I can't really complain that much. Yeah. But so if you're on the audio feed listening to these, Lost in Space is up next after the finale of this, and obviously if you're on YouTube, then just look out for Lost in Space on Friday when the show goes up. We'll have one review out on Friday, and then go from there like we've done with this one. But there you go. So like, subscribe, let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments, all the usual stuff. Get us on patreon.com/MailedFuzzTV for supporting us and for seeing what else you can grab, some extra stuff, and just generally getting a nice warm fuzzy feeling. Not feeling awful, because Lemony Snicket in this is awfully. Often telling you how awful this story is and how you should turn away. Now it's about to get much worse. Make yourself feel better by supporting us, please.
Yeah, make us feel better too.
A word here that means I'm kidding. So that is us. So let us know. Let us know what you think in the comments. Keep watching TV. Have you got any vanilla?